ladies, it's Katie, and I am here to talk about another strategy to add to your health and fitness that is called intermittent fasting. Now, I didn't bring this strategy up at the beginning of our program because I really wanted to establish a nice base of some health habits with you guys. But now that we are 1 week in, I think it's a good time to introduce this strategy, and you can decide if it's something you want to play around with or not. I'm still working through intermittent fasting. I've been doing it for 6 to 8 weeks now, and I'm really loving it, but I'm still playing with it and finding how I can use it best in my life and how it works best for me. So everyone is different. Not everyone is going to like this strategy. If you're a person that really enjoys eating frequently throughout the day, this probably won't work for you. But if you're a person that finds that getting all of those meals in is cumbersome and challenging, and you could do with cutting some of those meals out and just eating more in a shorter window of time, then this might work really well for you. Also, if you feel like you've tried everything and you're just not losing the weight or the inches that you want, this might be a good thing for you to try. So I'm going to pull up some notes because I don't want to leave anything out. So let's talk about what intermittent fasting is. It's not a diet, and remember, I'm just not big on diets. My goal in working with you is that we can find some strategies that we can do forever, and that are really sustainable because they're simple. So that's one thing I love about intermittent fasting. It's not a diet. It's just a way of scheduling your meals so that you get the most out of them. It's a pattern of eating. It doesn't change what you eat. It changes when you eat. So we've already changed what we're eating. We are eating whole, clean, nutritious foods 80% of the time, and then we're relaxing 20% of the time. So this is doing the same thing, but on a reduced schedule. So it's a really good way to get lean without going on a crazy diet and without cutting your calories down to nothing. Most of the time, you're going to keep your calories the same. So whatever, calorie bracket works well for you. And I know we're not really counting calories as we work through this program together, but whatever range kind of feels right for you, you're going to keep the same range. You're just going to condense when you eat them. So you'll be eating bigger meals within a shorter time frame. But it's a really good way to keep muscle mass on while getting lean. We all want that. So you guys, a little background information. Your body is in what's called the fed state when it's digesting and absorbing food. And the fed state typically lasts from when you begin eating, and it lasts for 3 to 5 hours as your body is digesting and absorbing the food that you just ate. When you're in the fed state, it's really hard for your body to burn fat because your insulin levels are high. When you enter the fasted state, which is about 12 hours after eating, this is when your body can burn fat because your insulin levels are low. So when you're in the fasted state, your body can burn fat that's been inaccessible during the fed state. But because we don't enter the fasted state until about 12 hours after our last meal, it's really rare that our bodies are in the fat burning state. So that's one of the reasons that people that start intermittent fasting will lose fat without changing what they eat, how much they eat, or how often they exercise. Fasting puts your body in a fat-burning state that you rarely make it to when you're eating on a normal schedule. And this is science. This is not just speculation or opinion. This is scientific information that I'm sharing with you, and it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Makes a lot of sense. Okay, so some tips. You can choose to try this intermittent fasting without doing it every day. The articles that I read that are not by bodybuilders, but are by the lay person, the average person that just wants to burn more fat, increase muscle mass, and exist in an ecosystem that's sustainable, like we do. Most of them said that you can get results by doing this as little as 3 times a week. Now, it can be a little challenging to not do it every day, and here's why. You're going to count when you're fasting. So let's say I do it today, and I typically fast my eating window is from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. typically. So let's say I do that, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then tomorrow I decide I'm not going to fast. I'm not going to do it. So then I decide to start eating breakfast at 7 a.m. Well, then I didn't really have my fasting window. Do you see? Because then I only went from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m., which is 12 hours, which is still good, but it's not the 16-hour window that we're going for. So it can just be a little bit tricky to schedule. So just pay attention to that when you're scheduling it. But I aim for about 5 days a week where I am doing the fasting. Weekends are harder, but honestly, this weekend I was way off of my fasting, and my body feels like it's rebelling. Like I feel more bloated than normal, and so I'm going to try to really do it as often as possible because I'm enjoying how it feels. So you are going to aim for a 16-hour fasting window. There are other plans where some people recommend fasting for one 24-hour time frame, 1 day a week. There are some plans that the eating window is only 4 to 5 hours. I mean, there's lots of different varieties of this depending on your goals and how extreme you want to go. For the purposes of this group and program that's all about lifestyle and sustainability, I'm recommending the 16-hour fasting window. It's really doable. So my family eats dinner fairly early, around 5:30. So for me, ending my eating at 6 is really easy. I'm not a big late night snacker either, so that wasn't hard. What was hard for me is not eating right away when I woke up. So I had to push that back to 10 to make my window, that 8-hour window, eating window. And I found some ways to cope with that. And now it's not a big deal. I still wake up hungry, but then I immediately have my coffee, which you can have, and you can still put your stuff in it. The rule of thumb that I read is that as long as you're getting about less than 50 calories total, you'll be fine. So I put a little honey and a little coconut milk creamer in my coffee, and it's less than 50 calories. So I drink my coffee first thing, and then that puts hunger at bay for quite a while for me. If I'm still feeling hungry, then I might have my apple cider vinegar tea, which is just apple cider vinegar and warm water with a little honey and maybe a splash of lemon juice. So again, that's keeping it pretty close to that 50 calorie bracket. Then I eat a large breakfast at 10. And I find that at about 11, I'm ready to eat again, another fairly large meal. And I just eat, when I'm able to and when I'm feeling hungry in that 8-hour window. So you can drink tea and coffee, you can drink Energize if you do a pre-workout, and lots of water. So, and of course, apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is actually an appetite suppressant as well. So that helps with those, early morning hunger pains. Or in the evening, if you're feeling hungry in the evening, drink your apple cider vinegar and you'll notice that you're not as hungry. Okay, so you can work out in the fasted state, and actually it's a strategy that a lot of people use. You can burn more fat when you're burning calories and you're in the fasted state. You can burn more fat. I find that I'm really energetic and I work out very well in the fasted state, but I can't go much beyond an hour. Kind of at that hour mark, I start to feel my energy waning and feel really hungry. Now, that's something that is going to be different for everyone, and you'll have to play with it. Maybe if you feel that way, or if you're just like, I have got to eat something, take one bite of a banana. One bite of a banana is not going to be over that 50 calorie bracket, and it's not really going to ruin your fast. So just something to keep in mind. Remember, this is your plan. You've got to do what works for you, and you can play with it. There are no hard and fast rules here. So play with it and experiment and see what works best for you. You need to eat the same amount in your 8-hour window that you were eating before you were fasting. So it's a little bit challenging to get all of your calories in that shorter time frame. At least it is for me. So you've got to be mindful about it. Otherwise, you might notice that you get to 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. and shoot, you've only consumed 500 calories. You need more calories. If you go too low in your calories for too long of a time, ladies, it's going to mess with your thyroid, and we do not want to damage our thyroid because that's what helps us keep burning fat. So going on a calorie restricted diet for too long can do damage to your thyroid, and we want to prevent that. So just make sure that you're getting in enough calories in that 8-hour time frame. Okay, so I'm going to add this to part of our plan as we move forward if you're interested. So if you want to participate, you're just going to include this in your check-ins in the evening. So how many points did you get out of 3, and did you fast for the day? Did you participate in intermittent fasting and keep your fasting hours? And if not, that's okay. Like I said, it's just an optional strategy that you can add when you feel confident about what you've already established. I hope that's helpful. Please let me know, as always, if you have questions, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.